walk what I'm calling Dallas Cowboys corridor. As you can tell, we are at a Cowboys home game. Yes, I understand that we are in Los Angeles, Inglewood, technically SoFi Stadium, but this is basically AT&T West. So follow me this way. We're gonna see if we can find a couple of fans. We are infiltrating enemy territory. The Cowboy fans are doing it right. We got the signage, we got the great food, we got the inflatables. Thoughts on today's game?
We're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Woo! You see this right here? How do you feel about today's game?
We better win, that's all I know.
How do you feel about Dak Prescott after last week's performance?
Dak Prescott has been very consistent with the division. He has took us back-to-back 12-5 seasons. You know what I mean? He has winning records above. You can say what you want about the past 7 years, but on our division, he has been owning it for years.
Are you a Dak rider or are you a Dak hater?
Before he broke his finger, I was a rider. Now, nah. They need to let him go now.
You know Dak Prescott's watching this right now, right? Actually follows the CanFan podcast.
Look.
Let's go!
Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation, son! Let's go!
Cowboys Nation represent! Cowboys Nation represent!
Let's go!
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, son. All day, every day.
Crack 'em if you got 'em, Seattle.
Here we are at Lumen Field. And is that a Harry Potter reference? Maybe. I don't know. I've casted a lot of Lumen spells.
Lumen videos.
We want to see Deuce represent. We want to see him repeat. I want some repeats. And I don't need 3 beats if they repeat.
I don't need 3 beats.
I don't need
if
3
they
beats.
repeat.
If they repeat. Let's go.
You don't think we're gonna make the postseason?
Maybe wild card.
So this is
Maybe wild card.
This is where I'm like, I'm good for a good ribbing, but like to say we're not gonna make the postseason, now I can't even argue with you because you've sucked. Oh God.
You know it too. You know it.
Who's your quarterback?
Fucking you got it.
This is our year.
Look at those dudes! Look at those dudes! Look at those dudes! Look at those dudes!
Let's go! Let's go, Cowboys! Let's go, baby! Cowboys Nation showing up!
Pristine athletes in modern history playing in the NFL. Even the offensive linemen are incredibly athletic. I mean, these guys are over 300 pounds, and you know they can
Not only the size, but the speed of the linemen? Are you kidding
fly
me?
on the field.
You're telling me a guy that's 330 pounds meant to block a guy that's 290 pounds is faster than me, a sporty 240?
High 240. High 240. High 240.
I could beat any one of those guys right now, and I've drank a 6-pack.
What? You're wearing Crocs!
My 40 time is better than any of them.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
Erroneous!
Erroneous on all accounts!
I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
How'd I do?
13-5.
Final quarter, here we go, baby! CD for the CD! And I'm going for 2. Woo! I don't know why my safety was just playing off so far.
Tackle him!
Yeah, well, I might be a boomer, but you sound like a pipsqueak. You don't even know how old I am.
No!
You little shit. You didn't win the game, I lost it!
Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to
Call
get
that a
open
throw?
in key situations.
I might be old, but at least I don't still piss my pants.
Protect you and your loved ones with Crackem VPN.
Ever heard the game Marry, Kill? Okay, like yeah, I'm gonna give you 3 people, and you're gonna decide who will you marry, who will you who will you kill.
Okay.
Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and Tony Romo.
Marry Jerry. He's got all the monies. Probably Tony. Dak Prescott. Gotta kill him.
I'm gonna Romo.
She's gonna with Romo.
I'm gonna marry Dak.
She's gonna marry Dak.
I'm gonna kill Jones.
She's gonna kill Jerry Jones. Who will you marry, kill between Jerry Jones, Dak Prescott, and then Tony Romo?
I'm out.
Jerry Jones, you.
So Jerry?
Jerry Jones, you.
Okay.
I forgot that was going to be the jingle that we had going. Ooh, yeah, baby.
It gets ya.
It gets you. You know what? I was just watching on Netflix a series about a cult. And is this the cult of CanFan today?
The cult of CanFan.
Welcome
Sunday service.
to the cult of CanFan. And to be a member, you got to crack 'em if you got 'em, son. Ooh,
crack 'em if you got 'em.
AJ's hopping on the call train. Oh, getting a little messy with that crack 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em.
Crack 'em if you got 'em. And welcome to the Cowboys CanFan Sunday service, you little butt sluts. How's everyone doing on this fine Sunday?
Bro, you know our advertisers aren't gonna like that.
But butt sluts isn't a swear word. You can say
No.
butt slut.
We're
It's
pro butt slut.
It's funny when you like listen to other podcasts and just how sensitive people get about saying certain things that they'll cut stuff out. I'm like, oh, we say that a lot. No wonder we don't get.
Well, the live show's different though, right? Like I think maybe censoring more of our clips and stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
But as far as this, I think this is our medium of our personalities to the rest of the world, and it's based around a Dallas Cowboys podcast show.
Hey, look, sorry, Hanford. We got Steve Chillingarian.
Yeah, Steve Chili's in the house.
Chili's in the house.
Chili's.
What up, Steve Chili?
He
What
goes,
up?
He goes, what's up? Tongue out. So.
What's up?
AJ's trying to be the people's champ over here.
That just came to my eyes.
There's some people that like Steve Chili. If he's there and you see it, you got to shout him out. And
Yeah.
that was one of the situations where he had to shout him out. So chat's up in the his A, feeling good. What about the bandwagon boys? How you guys doing? It's shitty outside right now.
It is.
It's gross outside.
Miserable.
It's not nice.
But I'm
It's
boosting
not-
it.
You're boosting it.
I'm boosting it
I'm
today.
boosting it. I'm fully boosted.
You got a first show of June, fellas,
First show of June.
which means we only got June, July, and half of August before we get some Dallas Cowboys football. So that's always nice.
You know why I like a rainy day? Because you can just like pretend to be bummed about not doing anything, but it's just an excuse. You just be lazy all day. You
I
walk
love
around,
it.
you're kind of like, oh man, I wish I could go do this.
I would
but-
have done a 5-kilometer hike.
Oh, wish I could have mowed the lawn today, but
Yeah.
it's just raining.
That is the best thing, because when you do that and it's sunny out and like beautiful and you see everybody else outside doing shit,
Yeah.
you feel like a piece of
Oh,
shit.
yeah, you're like,
but
"Ah,
today it's
I
like,
guess
well,
I
everyone's inside.
I like
And I enjoy it right now.
If it's a nice, blistering hot summer day, I love on a weekend. I love hitting the matinee up.
Oh,
Just to say, fuck
yeah.
it, fuck it, fuck it here now. Fuck everybody else. They're outside. I'm going inside.
You're going against the social norm.
And I like coming out from what should be an evening event and kind of forgetting it's daylight and then hitting the sun and being like, oh,
Well,
I'm a piece of shit.
Perfect example of that is our Sunday shows, our live streams. We're down in here for like 6 hours,
That's
and
true,
if it's
yeah.
a 10 a.m. game,
Oh, yeah.
I go to leave. I'm usually a little bit tipsy or drunk. It's like beautiful outside. There's kids playing outside Ad's house. I'm like, oh man, I feel like a piece of shit.
Well, and now,
already hungover. Like, oh.
and now that I've completely like blacked the studio out.
That's
so,
what I
like,
mean. You don't know
can't-
what day it is.
Don't know what day. Don't know what
You
time.
need to start pumping oxygen in here so that
It's
we
like
can live stream for. That's what we should have been
Yeah.
doing during the draft show. Just pumping oxygen
And
in
just
here.
let's just get a bowl of smelling salts.
Yeah, just for why the hell? Because why the hell not? I'm not looking forward to, like, right now. It is very miserable outside, but it's not. It's like cool outside. Like, it's not hot at all. I'm not looking forward to the July, August, early
Oh, yeah.
September's in here, where we have to worry about computers melting because it's so hot down here.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, I think we're gonna have to probably invest in a that fan works great, but if we can get one that's like uber quiet, uber powerful, then I don't think we're gonna have a problem with it.
And then we'll have to have like a cooler with chunked up ice so
Yeah.
that it blows that cold air.
Yeah.
Well, what I have right here,
nice
I
boy.
have a nice little. Put your hand right here.
I know, but that helps you. That's good. That's not gonna help you in July.
All I was gonna
What's
say
you
is
got a little fan.
I got a
over there
little
right now?
desk fan over here. I was gonna say we should all have little desk fans around us.
I need a ball fan during the hot games for
Like
sure.
your wiener?
Yeah, my balls. Like it gets, man, when it's hot in here, it is like excruciating. Not to mention on the Wednesdays where I've been out working in the sun all day.
Well,
and I come in here and I'm like, I already look like a tomato.
So
and then it's 40 degrees down here, which for our American fans, that's, I'm going to, out a rough guess, like 95 degrees, 100 degrees.
If I think the strategy is I keep everything off until game time, keep it cool down here because all the stuff's cold. So there's no, and it's kind of underground. It's half this is underground anyways. So it should be cool enough. We could look at other fans. I just don't know how much another fan would help us too much.
40 degrees is 104 Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Okay. So it's probably not 40 degrees. It's probably about 95 degrees down here when it's in the summer.
I mean, we can invest in some central air. in the studio, just for the studio.
Just the studio?
Yeah. I mean, or we, yeah, I don't even know how we can. I close up all the windows.
You can't. We have no chance. But guess who else could be investing in some stuff right now, guys?
Jerry.
The Dallas Cowboys, because they're about to get $9.5 million in additional cap space. And this article was written by Jess Haney on May 31st. So they've actually now received that. They've received that $9.5 million in additional cap space because they got, when they released Michael Gallup, they made him a post-June 1st cut. Mm-hmm. So they finally are getting that $9.5 million buckaroos that we've all been so excited about.
So that brings the Cowboys up to about nearly 14, just over $13 million. So depends if you look at it half full or half empty. It's almost 14 million, or it's just over 13 million.
And they have that just sitting there?
They have that sitting there in the cap right now. And how this works is Michael Gallup's contract, the remainder of it, we just keep what's on the book this year instead of taking all of it and putting it on the books this year. And then the rest of his contract, I think it was only 2 more seasons anyways, or maybe it was just the last one, but that gets pushed or crunched all into the 2025. So it'll be roughly, I think, $9 million-ish in 2025. Michael Gallup will have on the books, but we free that up essentially this year. So
yeah, you don't have to wait for that for next year. Where did Gallup end up getting signed to?
I don't think he was signed.
I thought he did. I thought like a team like Tennessee signed him.
Well, AJ's finding that everybody in chat's laughing at us for talking about how hot it is. It's like, it's funny to hear Canadians talk about how hot it is.
And right now it's not hot at all, but it gets hot here in the summertime.
Las Vegas.
Oh, he got signed by the Raiders. Interesting. That is it. Hey man, it can get scorching up here in the summertime, but yeah, right now it's beautifully miserable.
Now it's nice and miserable.
Michael Gallup went to the Raiders, eh?
So he's at the Raiders.
Interesting.
Going to see him in the preseason, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be seeing him in the preseason because.
Are you going?
Oh yeah, that when I'm in Vegas, the Raiders play against the Rams, so I'm gonna go watch it. I've never been to Allegiant, so I'm gonna go check it out. You know, I'm gonna be rocking my Tyler Smith jersey. I'm definitely gonna be wearing a Cowboys jersey when I go to watch. I'm gonna be that guy.
You have to be that guy.
There's nothing better than as someone that goes to an opposing game of 2 players in a preseason game and is wearing a completely irrelevant jersey to the game that's happening. That's just that means you're diehard.
I'm just trying to get a free agent list because I think what would be fun is just try to look at. Okay, we got 13 million in cap. Well, let's just throw out some scenarios. What should the Cowboys do with it? I think some ideas come to mind is a wide receiver. I think Hunter Renfrew.
Renfrew, yeah.
Renfrew was on some lists. There's also bringing back Gilmore. CB played well for us.
That's not a bad idea. And another thing would be maybe just hanging on to this for when a couple guys get cut.
Yeah.
After the first free agents or training camp cuts happen. Maybe just keeping one in the barrel. I mean, with what did you say they had about 13 million buckaroos, CanFan bucks in their pockets? They could get a couple players realistically if they play their cards right.
Yeah, it depends. I think adding a DT to the mix a la Hankins, because I think Hankins is gone now.
He's gone, yeah.
So finding another type of Hankins player, but not a guy who you want to be a Band-Aid at this point, but just someone to come in there and give those 2 young boys a little bit of support Mossy Smith, and who's the other dude?
Osa.
Not Osa. Sorry, there's another young guy that we drafted in like the 6th round or something. So he's not like a big name, but he's a big boy. I tell you that. I'm not really helping because I don't know. I can't remember his name. I could look it up quickly. But regardless,
yeah, just someone in
that's
there, get them in the mix, and you're gonna need. And maybe that's what the Cowboys' plan was all along, to not really make a splash in free agency. At this point, I'm not going to try to pretend what I know what the Dallas Cowboys are doing, but if you're in this all-in mode, or if you think you're going to compete for any type of Super Bowl run, then yeah, you don't want to go into the season with any type of cap space available. You want to get a couple guys to hop in and give you a goddamn chance to take this thing past the divisional round for the first time in 30 seasons.
So I can't really, and if you can see this, but I can't really move it over for the.
What if you zoom it in and then slide it?
It's like right on the border.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So like I don't really got the.
It'll be too hard for me to adjust it here. Fuck.
Okay. So right now, what we're looking at, we're on Spot Track, Sport Rack. I don't know, one of these websites, and we're just looking at the available.
Sorry, Anthony,
the top available free agents left, according to, and I don't know if this list is by who's the best available or how much they cost.
So this
or
is
it's their previous. They're ranked by what their previous, what their previous contract was.
Average annual value, I think.
Yeah, average. They're up there by their average annual value, and they're all they're all free agents right now. With Ryan Tannehill at the top,
we can look at positions too.
Yeah, positions would be good. Like, so what are you guys thinking? AJ, you said wide receiver.
Let's just look at what wide receivers got.
So in the top guy that you had mentioned, Hunter Renfrew, is right up at the top. So he was getting his annual average there was $16 million. I imagine a lot of these dudes that aren't on a team right now, they're gonna be they're not getting as much.
No,
like,
they'll be below.
They're not. No one's paying Hunter Renfrow $16 million. No one's paying Michael Thomas $10 million. Russell Gage not getting $10 million, and then you got all these kind of lower rated guys with Agnew, Hardman, Grant, and Cobb that are probably going to flirt around the same contracts as they had on their previous ones.
Yeah, I see Renfrew, Thomas, and Gage going from like between 7 to 10 million, depending on how bad a team wants them, right? Maybe 6 to 10 million, you know. Renfrew probably will end up with the most there, and that kind of obviously that he stands out. And the rest of these guys are probably pretty close. I would assume that they'll get like not over what their AAV was, or
Interesting
maybe like
enough,
50% or
Sterling Shepard's still out there. I guess he's getting a little older.
Yeah.
You guys seen any names that really hop off the board at you though?
Nothing. The only other one
really
that would kind of be interesting, and I know he hasn't had a great history, but he has some good skills, is Hardman. He's really fast, but he's never really been able to put it together. In Green Bay, I believe he was in as well, and in KC.
And he's still young, only 26.
Yeah, so I mean that would be interesting. Is he worth $4 million, and is he better than what we already have? I don't know, but I like adding someone with a unique skill like that to the wide receiver room.
So you got wide receiver, we thought running back. Maybe we take a little gander at running backs.
Yeah, Steve Chili in the chat saying, I like a running back on the offensive side, but I take my chances with what we have today if everyone plays to their potential.
Yeah, and it's more of the same here on the running backs. And you look at the averages that these guys were making on their last contract. A lot of low value guys.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with maybe taking a stab at one of these guys and just attempting to add a little bit, like even Cam Akers, Matt Breida, Kareem Hunt, like any of those guys, if they just threw $1 million at him for a 1-year deal, or like $1 million with up to 2.5, 2 to 2.5 with incentives, like I wouldn't be against that.
Hunt's probably my favorite on that list, and Akers is interesting. Same with Damian Harris too, but other than that, I mean, Jerick McKinnon could be someone because of his he's real handsky.
Mm-hmm.
But he's older too, so I would
Akers or Hunt probably.
Hunt, I think, for me, but.
And it makes you wonder though. This is like all these
bring up wide receivers.
All these spots that we're looking at, it's super bottom of the barrel.
We just had wide receivers up.
Oh, we did? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working?
I'll bring it back up. You just went over.
We
all
talked
of
about
it.
Hunter
Right,
Redford.
there's
We
no one
talked
here.
about
I
Michael
thought-
Thomas. We talked
sorry.
about McCold Hardman.
Yeah, guess what? Get the fuck off of him.
What point did you miss that you want to get out there, Alex?
I literally do not remember seeing anything in there. I'd have no idea what I was doing.
Hey, Alex, pull up those wide receivers.
Hey, I'm gonna pull that wide receiver out. Okay, here's some offensive linemen.
And again, I mean, Connor Williams. Connor Williams is intriguing to me. Left the Cowboys, went to Miami, ended up converting to center for the Dolphins. Ended up being pretty good until he got hurt. Would I pay him $7 million? No. But if he's still out there and you're maybe not having the success that you want from, say, Beebe and Hoffman, why not bring Connor Williams in at a price to battle it out? He's still young. He got drafted by the Cowboys. They liked him at some point. He has flexibility at guard and center. Like, wouldn't be terrible.
I do like 1 year, $5 million, and then if he plays over a certain amount of games, throw in another $1 million.
Look at the price drop off from left tackles to then centers and guards.
Oh yeah, boosh.
Just drops right off a fucking cliff.
Let's also just look at defense now. I mean, we're getting through
Defense.
Here. Edge.
Go tackle.
Not,
Yeah, go DTs.
Defense!
Defensive tackles.
See if there's any big boys. Fletcher Cox, he retired though.
Yeah.
Let's see. We want to see someone that's basically a one tech, which I don't know any of these guys enough, but you got a couple youngins here for very cheap too. And I don't know if those guys are going to be much more than depth pieces, but at the very top, what do we got? I just want to see for age wise, like Brian Moan, what's from Seattle? Can you, if you click him, does it give any stats, AJ?
Oh, we pull him up here. Oh, it's just contract stats.
Just contract stats.
I can
I'd like to see this guy's size. Brian Mane.
Let me
Mane.
Brian Monet.
Monet.
Play my song, guys. Play my song.
Fuck.
Isn't your last name Moan?
Yeah, isn't it Moan? He's like, yeah, well.
Or Mon.
It's Monet to you.
Yeah.
Or some people say Mon. Yeah, Mon.
6'3", 345.
Okay, so that's right there.
This dude.
That's a spot right there, man.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear, because at 6'3", 345, he's playing as a big just spot eater. So Brian Monet, Mane.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. If you get him for maybe 3 or 4 mil.
Yeah, exactly.
Add him to the stack. Add him to, you know, just bring him in, get him in there, getting reps with Mozzie, because Mozzie's only like 210 pounds now.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have a guy that was beefed up a little bit.
Mozzie is going to go to linebacker this year, I think.
CB. Mozzie's converting to CB because he's only 196 pounds now.
I'm interested to see Shaq Leonard and David Mayo still not on teams, but
yeah, Leonard's an interesting one. He's had a couple good seasons, and again, and they're cheap, man. Like you got some picks here, and these are all going to be guys that teams are waiting to bring on as soon as they start camp up and injuries start happening. What's the Stephen King movie where the guy keeps losing weight? He gets like cursed by a witch and he keeps losing weight.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Thinner.
I'm thinking Mozzie's ran into a witch and he's been. I didn't know a movie question.
No, I didn't. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It's classic Stephen King, but but that's, hey, if you like that thing, and I do like it.
Mozzie's 298 at the end of last year. At the end of this year, he's going to be 246,
and he's going to be loving it until
he's 114 pounds.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry. That was all linebackers, and then I guess let's just look at secondary altogether.
All jived up. Xavier Howard, Jamal Adams.
Oh, look at these guys' contracts.
Yeah, they're up there. And then you got Quandre Diggs, Stephon Gilmore. Like Gilmore, if they could get him back at the right price, why not, man?
You could have Gilmore and one other $1.5 million guy and still have a million and a bit in the kitty.
Yeah. Because he's not getting signed. He's not getting that same contract. Like he's probably coming back.
$8 million, maybe
yeah,
$7 million.
We'll say 8 for the, like you could probably get him and Monet.
Yeah.
And then, hey, that actually looks like pretty good depth signings, right? You got another CB to hop in with Trevon Diggs and Deron Bland. And he was in the system last year. And now you have Mozzie has a guy that's showing Mozzie how to eat because the dude's 345, and how to just be in the league, right? So if I'm picking off these list of dudes we just saw, my two signings are Stephon Gilmore and Brian Moan.
Yeah, I think that too. Renfrew would be interesting, but just not. The contract's too much. It's too much.
I just think his style of play. Toss me one, son. His style of play is too. Oh, right on the. That's how you have to catch him.
Yeah.
I think for Renfrew, like, I'm kind of intrigued with all this talk that we've heard about Deuce Vaughn getting some slot reps, to be honest.
Hey, again, if he's taking up a roster spot, I'd rather have him being productive on the field. I just think it's like you move on from him. But if there's something that he can add to the offense, absolutely. And I want to see it now.
Well, and this is the last ditch thing, right?
Yeah.
If they're moving him out to be a slot, they're kind of
him.
conceding the fact that he's not a running back in my brain.
Yeah, and
that's how I'm seeing it.
That's a cluttered running back room, and he doesn't really seem to be, from what we're hearing, it doesn't really seem like he's in the mix to be considered like someone who they're going to be utilizing very often, right? So,
you think Dak would be able to see him running across the field?
Yeah. The hell?
Just this little hand comes up. It's like this.
My favorite's when they were in training camp where they wear those helmets.
Yeah.
And his head looked twice the size of everyone's. I don't know if it was because he's smaller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It just looked funny. Micah Hyde actually on this secondary list is an interesting one too. Older, same with Stephon Gilmore. Like there's a couple guys that are a bit older, but if they still have something in their tank, it's pretty crazy to see that Stephon Gilmore's almost 34. And then you think about the season that he had last year. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I understand teams shying away from him because he's going to still say, well, look what I did last year. I still want X amount of money, where you probably get the same value in a guy that's 24 that you could pay for $3 million, right? So
like you said, though, once the chips are going to start falling at some point, and where we'll see a bunch of these top tier guys in terms of, their age, their how much they're asking for and their skill level. We'll start seeing those guys go off the board. And then it's either going to be like the question of supply and demand, right?
Jamal Adams, 17 million last year.
It's crazy.
Wow. He is in for a very, very big pay cut.
Ultra Cowboy saying
Howard, I think.
Micah Hyde says it's the Bills' retirement.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Ultra also brought up a point, and I wanted to save it to kind of towards the end of the cap. He's saying that the Cowboys are probably going to roll that money over to next year.
That's one thing I always wondered. That's a thing. Like if you don't spend it, it rolls into next year, or you just
no. But
like how's that work? That's one thing I don't understand completely.
It would just mean that they basically have that 10 million. It rolls over. It doesn't add more.
But you start off with 12 million.
Yes, exactly.
Like they're going to start off with 12
You'll still have that 13 million free plus whatever else frees up.
Okay, that makes sense.
So then they'd have like 65 million or almost 70 million
that makes
without
sense.
Dak's contract.
Like it's not like it doubles or something.
No.
It's not like, okay, here's your start off again. And well, you didn't spend X amount.
That'd be awesome.
Again. That would be sweet.
You get like 400 million
just
one
save
year.
up. Just save up. It's like, we're going to suck this year. We're going to we're not going to spend money on anybody. And then we're going to just get everybody the following season.
But they have so many things like this June 1st cut, which allows you to make moves and save money and shuffle cash around that. Like there's so many different options for teams now to like free up money if they really need to. But what it will do is put you in a corner at some point. It's going to catch up at some point.
It'll catch up to you, man. It's tough. The only thing I hate is let's crack me if you got them. Crack me if you got them, kids. The only thing I hate is you never hear about other teams with their quarterbacks. Like they pay their quarterbacks. You never hear about it crippling their team in other spots, right?
No.
Like it's never like, oh man, they paid Jalen Hurts. Now they can't sign anyone else. But then with the Cowboys, it's always, oh, they paid Tony Romo. Now they can't have any good players. Oh, they paid Dak Prescott. Now they can't have any good players. So is that a fact or is it just a narrative spin?
It also, like, I'm sure people say that about a lot of and look, there's been some pretty Deshaun Watson's contract comes to mind most recently,
especially if you look at what they traded to get him.
Oh yeah, exactly. They traded the entire house and the property for him, and then it was all guaranteed money. The contract. So I think he's on the books for something of like 75 million next year. I mean, more than likely whoever signs him, we're good. But that money still has to get paid somehow.
And then Joe Flacco takes
Okay.
him to the fucking postseason.
Okay, so we got 2 questions. Davey says, "How the hell did you boys get 12 million in cap space?" That'd be Jerry Nomics.
What do you mean?
Well, because you guys were saying 12 or 13 million in cap space, and you were talking about the rollover. He might have. Just a question he asked. How the hell do you boys get 12 million in cap space? Question mark.
Well, they had the post June 1st cut of Michael Gallup. So the Cowboys had a couple million already, and now they got that 9.5 from Michael Gallup. So they're flirting in the area of 12 mil, 13 mil.
I think
on the books right now.
I think
if that's what he means.
Yeah, they had a little over 3 million, and they freed up 9.5 million. So that's how we're getting to like 12, 13 million. But I think it's a little over 13.
Okay, and then Ultra's pasting stuff from rule book somewhere. He goes, because yes, the team can absolutely roll the money over. Teams may carry over salary cap space from one league year to the following league year by submitting notice to the NFL prior to 4 p.m. Eastern on the day following the team's final regular season game. Team can carry over 100% of its remaining 2023 room to its adjusted salary cap for 2024.
That's what we agreed with that already.
Yes, but you don't get it doesn't add up as
you don't
additional.
get
you don't get the additional.
You don't get an additional. You keep what you had.
Yeah.
It's like if I have $12 in my pocket and I don't get an additional $12 in my pocket. I just get to keep the $12 that I had.
It's unlike
it's like how I dumbed it down to my livelihood, $12.
I was gonna say, like, some work, if you don't use your vacation in that calendar year, it doesn't roll over to the next year, and you start back at
zero.
At zero.
Oh, hang on. I guess you can bring it over, but then what if because there's been teams that have been like 50 million under.
This is us. This silence is us on air.
Figuring it out on air.
Figuring it out on air.
Hey, we never claim to be nerds that are sitting on their spreadsheet. Sorry, I watched Strickland's an interview with Sean Strickland, and that's all he was talking about was nerds on spreadsheets.
Sorry, there are some rules. So they can roll it over, but the team must spend at least 89% of their cap over 4 years. So they can only technically roll over 11 million during that 4-year time. And the NFL as a whole has to spend at least 95% of the cap. So
Ultra's saying if the salary cap is 270 million and they roll over 12 million, they will have 282 million for next year.
Okay.
Interesting.
I
didn't know that. But up to $11 million. Because they can only do that with only if they've spent 85%.
89%.
89%. Yeah. So that equates to what, 11 million you said?
Well, 80, yeah, roughly.
Is it just 1 year? You couldn't the next year roll that over even more. Like a
Well,
I guess you could.
But you max out, you cap out.
Yeah.
You have to spend 89%. Right. So
it leaves you with only that X amount.
Roughly almost 25 million or something like that.
We're learning.
We're
with
learning.
Our fans.
Thanks, Ultra, because that
actually I can't even call Ultra a fan. he's just an audience member.
Well, the thing with that is, why the hell the Cowboys not do this? Like they're always overmaxed. They're always overmaxed. Never in the area to bring anything over. And we'd be silly to think, like, I know Ultra's saying that he believes the Cowboys are going to try to carry it over, but do you guys believe that? Do you, like, if somebody gets injured, I think the more probable thing is that if somebody gets injured, they got that little bit of money to try to throw it at one of these free agents.
I think it would be in every team's interest to, like, not spend it, but you're right. Like, the truth is there is going to be a need at some point. We saw it with Adoga, and now Adoga's sticking around. Like, he managed to get a couple years out of the boys. So we saw the list of free agents. There's some names on there that, Cowboys and like any other team, I'm sure, we have a good starting line and some areas are weak in depth. So I can see that being spent by the end of the year. But shit, if we can roll it over, that would be optimal.
Yeah,
just might not be an option.
Ultra brought up a night. What do you guys think about this one? Where is it here? Go trade for Jonathan Allen from the Commanders. So use that money, make some trades. Don't pick up any of these free agents, but try to get Jonathan Allen.
Well, Jonathan Allen's been linked to the Cowboys a couple times, but right now the Commanders with Dan Quinn with the new scheme and like all these new pieces that they have, Jonathan Allen's probably one of their best players on defense. Why would the Commanders give him up now?
Yeah.
Like he's the only defensive lineman they didn't move away from. They moved away from Chase Young, and I can't remember the other edge rusher that they got rid of last season that they traded away. It was like Allen was the only one that they wanted to keep, and now you have all these other pieces that Dan Quinn's brought in free agency.
Give him Mozzie.
Right, switch Mozzie. But you have like they brought in Bobby Wagner. They brought in all the Cowboys players that we know of. Why would you get rid of your defensive cornerstone?
Allen wants out,
Cornerstone.
and they drafted Newton, is what Ultra's saying.
Okay.
But still, I mean, even if he wants out, like, doesn't mean the team's going to get rid of him.
Dan Quinn's just like, give me 1 year.
Why would this is my question, and Ultra seems pretty in tune with this stuff, but like, why would he want out now? Like, why this is the best, most hype they've had around themselves in how many years? Definitely since the CanFan show's been in existence. The Commanders have had zero hype since we've been going. They've not had a good season for 4 or 5 years. Now they finally are on the uptick. At least they have some hope. They have one of the top quarterbacks drafted in the NFL draft. They've brought in a new head coach. They've brought in a bunch of other key players. You think you'd be excited to stick around?
Is he a DT?
Yeah, Allen's a DT.
So, like, it would be interesting if Mozzie Smith is DQ's guy.
They just do a swap.
Or, like, maybe we have to give up a little bit more along, like a 5th or 6th or something like that. But that would be that I could see that existing in a DQ world.
I would need to see it in another. I want to see another year of Mozzie though. You know, like I think the NFL's too. What did you do now? I think it's fair for every first round pick to get at least 3 seasons with the team they get drafted. Unless
right now.
Unless they're completely dog shit. And I don't think Mozzie was completely dog shit. I just think he had some growing pains. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in year 2. If he takes a step back in year 2, which would be pretty hard to do considering his season last year.
Yeah.
Then I would start flirting with, let's see get whatever you can for Mozzie Smith and try to get him from DQ.
This loser?
Should we go on to OTAs, boys?
OTAs.
Actually, before
crack them if you got them, son.
Before we do OTAs, I want to bring up this video, and I want everyone to sit back and let's try to show Micah some love today.
Yeah, because we have been Micah haters lately, haven't we? A little bit.
I don't know if we've been Micah. I haven't been a Micah
I wouldn't
hater.
really even say hater. I maybe just wanted more but I think I'm coming to grips with just having him be a really good player. Like a really, really good player. Like I shouldn't want him to be a guy that's out there yelling, and I'm starting to come to terms with that.
If he's not the leader talk, you wrote on ye old Twitter today and shared that on the IG, or maybe it was yesterday, I think. But you're over it.
You're tweeting?
I tweet, yeah, I hop on.
Ansel hop on.
I hop on. If I'm just sitting there and I have one I'm thinking of, I'll just throw it out there.
Sometimes I wonder if it's when you're just sitting at home having a couple bevies watching something, and then when Ant starts getting active on Twitter, it's like, okay,
it's funny that you say that, because that one actually was, because it was I think I said to like at 11, I tweeted at like 11:30 in the because I was going through and I just kept seeing the people talking about Micah being a leader, and I was like, this is boring.
Okay, well,
I love it.
He wasn't sitting there. He for sure was like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then
I didn't have my contacts in, so that's more like what it was.
And then you see something and you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, and I just wrote that the Micah Parsons leadership talk is boring. I don't care if you're a leader or not. Just get sacks in big games. That's it. And I think if he was getting sacks against the Green Bays, against the San Frans, against the Miamis, against the Buffalo Bills, people wouldn't be talking about the leadership shit. If he would have had 3 sacks against Green Bay, or like a sack, fumble, return for a touchdown, you wouldn't hear anything about it.
No, and it's difficult because look back at that Super Bowl winning team in the 90s for the Cowboys. I can imagine if we had the same type of social media and like alternative income type of access that these players have, just by being a vocal person and, you know, getting people who like followers, like, subscribes. You know what you guys should be doing right now if you're watching.
Drop a like. Drop a fucking like.
But I think back then, maybe you wouldn't have liked Michael Irvin in his young age. Like, obviously, he's an awesome analyst now, but maybe we wouldn't have liked what we're hearing him say, right?
But
you know what I mean?
The difference, though, those teams won Super Bowls.
Right, they did.
I don't think anybody would have said shit.
Sure.
I think it's when it's...
But, Cowboys fans?
Yeah, okay.
They would find something to get
But you also got to
This is
think
only your third Super Bowl.
but you gotta
need
think
to calm down.
these Cowboys fans were born because of those Super Bowls.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Like before those 3 Super Bowls, they went through some pretty bad seasons and they had a complete turnaround. So I think fans at that point
We're just. I'm just saying.
I know what you mean.
But like, and you're absolutely right with the winning thing because that's what a lot of it comes down to, and disappearing during games or what.
Does anyone care about CJ Stroud hopping on any podcast with Micah Parsons? You don't hear anyone bitching because they're super excited about what CJ Stroud did last year.
Truth.
Right? So it's once CJ Stroud starts, if he has a podcast or he's on a Wednesday night show during the season and he goes into a game, an important game, and he throws 3 picks, guaranteed people will start saying, well, maybe if you weren't on a podcast. And I think that's all it is once the success dwindles, the start of the season, did anyone give a fuck what Micah Parsons was doing? No, because he was almost averaging a sack and a half a game.
You're trying to always look for an excuse.
Yeah.
Right? An excuse on why something's not working, an excuse on why the team's the way they are.
Hey, this is what Micah Parsons has done for the Dallas Cowboys. He's had 213 combined tackles, 142 solo tackles, and this is in 3 seasons. 40.5 sacks.
That's pretty legit.
7 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, a touchdown. We saw that, baby.
Yes, we did. We were dressed up.
And
I was dressed up like Madonna.
And 8 passes deflected. Now, we're not going to read it.
Passes deflected.
Yeah,
Wow.
we won't read his playoffs.
Can I ask you one stat boy question before you play this video?
Yeah.
What's the all-time leaders in sacks for the Cowboys? I think it's D-Ware, but how many is it? 100 and it might not even be D-Ware.
And this is like overall?
Yeah, just the Dallas Cowboys, top sack leaders for the Dallas Cowboys. And it's only going to be recent because they didn't even keep sacks until the 90s, which is such a weird thing.
It is DeMarcus Ware.
What's he at? Let me guess, 126.
Lower.
109.
A little higher.
118.
117.
Okay.
117. Then right below him is Jeff Coat.
What did he have?
Jeff Coat, who had 94.5. Yet they might have not recorded all of his.
Right.
Same with Greg Ellis.
Greg Ellis would have got all his.
Yeah.
What did he have?
77.
So, okay.
So there's quite a big drop off.
So look at this. So Greg Ellis played his full career almost with the Cowboys. He had 77 sacks. Micah Parsons in 3 seasons has 40.
40.5.
He has more than half of what the third leading sack getter has for the Dallas Cowboys. So, I mean, if Micah stays on pace with what he's doing, say he plays 9 years for the Dallas Cowboys, he has 120 sacks.
Yeah. So if Micah gets say 13.5, that'll bring him to 54 next year. And he'll move up ahead of Reggie White. Or not Reggie White, sorry. Randy White.
Yeah, so what did they have for Randy White?
52.
So maybe they did go back and count. Because Randy White's like a long time ago.
They might have missed a couple seasons.
I see.
And then started recording it. But you're right.
But you are right. They have all the games on there, so why wouldn't they go back?
They should be able to. But there's a massive drop off anyways from Ellis at 77, and then you get like 3 in a row around 57 and 59. That's Tony Tolbert. DeMarcus Lawrence has 58.5.
D-Law, baby.
And Too Tall Jones, 57.5.
Well, so Micah's on pace to be like, and this is the thing. If like D-Ware was one of my favorite Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And Micah has his record in sight.
Let me see.
Just get some of those sacks in the postseason, and I'm telling you, people aren't going to be as negative.
Yeah, if Micah plays 10 seasons and averages 13.5,
he has the record.
135 sacks in his career. But he's got that extra game as well, so we could probably see that actually being a pretty reasonable bet. But you're right. Let's show him some love with this video. We're still going to be harsh. Tough love on you, Micah. But
I just want to do anything to make it. Just want to make it, huh? Yeah, I just want to make it All-American, or what's the plan? How far do you want to take us? I want to make it All-American. I just want to make it for my family. My name is Micah Parsons. I play defensive end and running back, and this is my name.
As a freshman, Parsons' playing time was limited.
And I would just go to coach and was like, man, how do I get on the field just a little bit more? I was eager to learn. I was eager to get better. This is All-American hard work. And I would just like, every day, just like saying I'm gonna build this wall.
In a social media post, Parsons let everyone
That's the picture they have on the wall.
First team All-American.
with like the post.
His sophomore year, he began to dominate.
Where do you really want to go? Like, what's the ideal spot? Obviously my dream location was Dallas. You want Dallas? Who's Dallas? I'm crying.
And everyone says he wants to be a fucking Eagle.
I know, I
or
hate it.
Texan.
Hey, Micah.
Yes, sir.
This is Jerry Jones, and I'm calling you to tell you we're turning your
AI, that's AI. It's fake.
You don't think it's too big for you to be a Cowboy, do you?
Sometimes it can be.
Sure, he's flogging his dolphin while he's talking to him. So look, I thought that when I watched that today, it melted my heart a little because I always love to see like anyone in any of their life, but you call your shot in high school and then you achieve that. Like
I also like that when they show him in high school, he looks the exact
Oh,
same.
yeah,
It's great. That's like so like. Remember what we looked like in high school. Imagine us having to play against Micah
I remember.
Parsons.
So me and Adam were born the same year as LeBron James. I remember when LeBron James got drafted into the NBA and being like,
we're the
"This
same
guy's
age."
the same age as me." Like, if aliens picked me and LeBron James up, they'd be like, "Okay, so what species are you?" And like, "Oh no, we're both
the same.
humans.
We're humans.
Oh, I see.
Well-
So you must be really smart. Nope. Just so yeah, like yeah, much love, Micah. We hope to, and the sacks too. Are we going to complain if he gets another 13 sack season?
No, I just hope that
I just hope it goes for.
You know what? Even if he gets 10 sacks or 8 sacks or 9 sacks, and then it has like 5 or 6 in the Super Bowl run,
Yeah,
fucking give that to me all day. And realistically, you don't know how Zimmer's going to play him, so his sack numbers could drop a little bit. I think the thing with Zimmer, just to get off track a little bit here, is to utilize Micah instead of teams being able to game plan against Micah. It's utilizing Micah in the way that if he is getting game planned against, other guys are going to eat. Where you saw last year and the year before when Micah was utilized, the whole defensive line just kind of shut off.
yeah, and it's going to be interesting this season. I really hope with what Zimmer does with him.
Old Gutto.
Oh, guts. Nips and guts, baby.
Nips and guts.
Make sure your nipples are rock hard before.
Oh, he's like, no, he just go like this. Okay, what are you doing,
I
Zim?
said get your nipples hard. I'm done with this shit.
Zim needed to be wearing at least a 2 size bigger shirt in that photo.
No, he's not fucking around with that.
Nah, he's like, I've worn this size since I was.
It's his same shirt from when he was on the Cowboys before.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Sorry. Before we hop into OTAs, I think that this is something we should talk about too. Dak Prescott, not only was he included in CJ Stroud's rankings of the NFL's top 5 quarterback, and I don't know if you saw that video.
Well, I was going to say, we should just watch the video.
Yeah, let's watch the video.
Let's watch the video.
You have control, AJ. You play it if you want to.
And I'm going to see if it's on this page. If it isn't.
Hey, hey, over there, you don't even dare tell him about your fantasy team.
No, I can talk to AJ about it.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
That's
that was Clayton.
Yeah, exactly. CJ Stroud.
Clayton's a dick.
Clayton is a dick. Cowboys CanFan, what's up from South Texas? Cheers. Crack him if you got
There
him.
he
Go
is.
Cowboys.
There he is.
Boy, EJ Savage from Boys in the Zone says, yeah, Micah is going to get that franchise record easy.
Yep.
Only question is health.
Yeah, health is a question for sure.
Yeah.
Man, I like that we're deep diving IG today, boys. I do like it.
I know what I'm doing, dog.
This is from our boy Laws Nation.
Lamar.
You guys might know him.
Dak. And then Hurts.
Dak,
Yeah, bro. Dak, that boy. Y'all not gonna say that because he ain't won the big one yet.
You said Matthew Stafford?
Yeah,
He's
Matthew,
the
but
Cowboys
he
thing.
was
Will.
top 5.
Cowboys thing.
Bro, you gonna put Dak Prescott in there over Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I got
I'm saying that for last year, dog. He ain't play all year. He got hurt.
Well, we can
Burrow,
find somebody.
Burrow, one of my favorite players. I'm out of my game after Burrow a little bit. Like,
Why
me and
you
Burrow
don't
got
fuck with
similar
that?
pass styles.
Cowboys.
Oh,
Bro,
Eagles
Dak
and
is that
Cowboys,
dude,
they
bro.
don't like each other like that? I ain't know all that.
What?
I ain't see. I don't be knowing all that.
That was-
I'm
Dak
just,
is one of the most accurate quarterbacks.
Y'all gotta
in
see them
the
this year.
world.
don't you?
Yeah, we playing
Oh my God, the battle of
Sunday.
Texas.
you gonna take care
Monday
of that for me?
night.
Yeah, take
Where y'all
care of
playing
that
at?
for me, man.
in Dallas.
Why does everyone
I don't know,
hate
bro.
Dak so much?
I know.
It is interesting, right? Because, like he said, he's basing this
Anybody
all
who's
of
not anybody who's not a player seems to have problems. All players across the league, doesn't matter what team you're on, they all seem to respect and like Dak Prescott.
Well, who are these jokers that he's talking to?
Well, the Gilly guy is isn't that guy a Philadelphia Eagles media personality?
I
or
have no
something?
idea. It's
Yeah.
got to be, which makes sense then.
Yeah, he's always at Des Bryant's tailgate.
Oh, that's that dude?
Yeah, with that fucking Eagles hat.
Well, he
or
better
whatever.
not be there at Thanksgiving. CJ Stroud was right. Yeah, I just keep telling him. That's all I have to say.
He's like, I'm sorry. Oh, you mean that video? Yeah.
And then getting beat up by his security team.
But this just is to segue us into the news that was released. Not this one, sorry. Right here.
Behind baseball.
There it is. Oops. Oops.
A Blogging the Boys.
Blogging
article.
the Boys. There we go. Cowboys News. ESPN reports Dallas will not let Dak Babyface Prescott hit free agency.
We all knew this.
Yeah.
There's no way that he hits free agent. There's just no way.
They say this is ESPN, I guess, on Twitter, or is this Instagram?
I don't know. Let's click it. What are they showing us here?
Oh, it's on X.
X gonna give it to you.
Shit, they got X.com now. It's interesting.
Oh shit, will we get flagged? Who cares?
Eventually, they just haven't shown it yet. But I'm told behind the scenes they made clear they don't want him to hit free agency in 2025. They want him to be the quarterback of the future, but their negotiation so far has been described to me as passive. So sometime this summer they're going to have to raise
Yeah, we all know this.
Come with a strong offer and get the ball going. But they made clear they're going to do that. They're just slow playing it a little bit, and you have some other quarterback comps. A little bit, yeah.
See, what this guy doesn't understand is that Jerry Jones is an option quarterback, all right? And if he's going to run to the sideline.
I'm going to go to Sunlights. What if I go to here?
You know, and he can still make that play once he gets right to the sideline. But sometimes he might just juke.
You don't know what Jerry's going to do. Jerry does some crazy shit when his crack if you got him, when his salt levels are low.
Yeah. So, no big surprise. But damn it, here's the thing. If they don't sign him it'll be very rare that the Cowboys are going to sign someone during the season. Unless they pull like a Elliott move, right? And that bet pays off. But yeah, like I don't understand the wait if that's inevitable. If they're like, oh yeah, he's not going to hit the market, then
just sign him.
Then let's get him signed
so that we can all stop talking about it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like that's the main thing. I just want to stop talking about it. Just get him under contract.
Well, then what else would we talk about? And I think that's
CeeDee
the
Lamb
biggest
and
thing.
Micah Parsons contracts.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Let's move on to the next.
You just default to your next superstar player that's under contract but waiting for their next one. Because all these guys are under contract already.
You looked over. Did you look over here to make sure that I wasn't on the screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do that from time to time.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This guy looks like a fucking giant. Who is that?
Why?
That's Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Why is the one guy looking at his dick?
It looks like Donald Glover, kind of.
Looks like he's when they cut off his leg.
Yeah.
Giant Dak, 7'8" quarterback Dak Prescott.
Dak
takes the
Prescott
field.
drank some giant elixir.
That's going to be my quarterback when I make him in NCAA 25, baby.
Oh yeah, the biggest, fattest QB you can make.
Well, I'm going to go like 7'8", like 100 or 210 pounds.
Oh, so he's a little bit of a rail.
Elusive.
It's quick on the.
I hate Unreal. You and Morv would always do that.
No, that was Rev.
Or Rev would? Oh, I fucking just hate
Remember
the
he did the Wildcats and he had like the Ricky Bobby and he was like 5'5", 280 pounds, but full speed.
Yeah,
I hated it.
Just
hated it.
Well, did you guys? Have
Well, what about the Magic Cans with his with the safety?
Oh yeah,
yeah, I hated
Junkie
that
L
too.
Junkie.
Yeah,
I hated that.
He was like 6'8", like a 6'8", 295-pound safety.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're talking
big
about.
boy.
I'm not an unrealistic created game character.
Other than putting every single pad that you could on your fucking player.
No, you made
That's-
you made Doug Flutie Jr.
But that's real, and that's realistic, right?
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is like you.
And hey, blinging out is completely different than sizing out.
Ads created players look like fucking NASCARs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was born to be in like these Fortnite generations with the amount of like
Accessories.
What I would
accessories you could grant.
Customization.
when I would play, and I'll probably get back into this with NCAA 2025.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah, we were just talking about before you got here that we're gonna Studio B's getting set up and we're gonna run.
We got to try to do something with it. We got to try to hit it while it's hot.
We got to start our own. We got to start our own school in Abbotsford and move our way up. I just say Abbotsford because that seems to be where like the most closest place that an actual. But yeah, let's look at these observations here from week 2 of OTA. OTA availability. I don't understand it. But anyways, Nick Harris from DallasCowboys.com.
Yeah, what's up with the OT availability?
Toss
me one, son. Oh yeah, this is our third topic.
Nice chin beard on Nick Harris.
Nick Harris looking very Amish.
Super Amish.
Or he looks like he wrestles with the guys in Dagestan.
Yeah, that's right.
I think, does
Great
Anthony need one?
beard.
I technically did that for Anth.
Oh, did you? That was for me?
Fire that fucking pigskin!
Oh.
There it is. Oh yeah, we're on today.
I put it out of the out of the defender's hands.
Yeah, that was good.
Today, Frisco, Texas. The media was back out on Thursday to observe the Dallas Cowboys participating in their second week of voluntary OTA workouts as the defense continues to install a new system under Mike Rockhard Nip Zimmer, and the offense heads into year 2 with Mike McCarthy as the play caller. Year 2 with Mike McCarthy.
I like that.
Yep.
A little consistency. Absences from Thursday's practice included DeMarcus Lawrence, undisclosed Osa Odigizua hip, Mozzie Smith shoulder, Trevon Diggs still recovering from that ACL, CeeDee Lamb, who's holding out, and Micah Parsons, where they didn't give him a designation. While Parsons was present for Wednesday's media day with the team, he has continued to work outside the building during the voluntary portion of the offseason.
Do you like that the full starting defensive line is out?
Not really, no. Yeah,
Lawrence.
yeah, you're right. Lawrence, Osa, Mossy, and Micah. No, that's a good call. No, I don't like that. I really wish you wouldn't have told me that.
You know, when Law, I think it was Law that posted the big thing about in relation to Zach Martin holding out and kind of like showing a roadmap for these younger players. Like, if you're good, hold out, they'll get paid. And then when Lamb or Micah do it, it's like...
No, but that's bullshit. People were choked about Zach Martin. I like when people forget about it. This was a year ago. Remember us with Zach Martin? We weren't like, yeah, hold out, Martin, get your bag. None of us were like that. We're like, get your fucking ass in there. Yeah. You guys are good enough right now to have a Super Bowl run. Get in there and they'll figure out your contract.
And we were saying that like right when training camp.
We were at training camp saying, why the fuck isn't... And the thing that I find funny is prior to the Zach Martin holdout the year before, people being like, oh yeah, no player will ever hold out because the new CBA or whatever. And it's like, no, if the guy's rich enough or if he's going to make enough, it still makes more sense to put your foot down
and hold out.
And I'm not even against like the Micah and the CeeDee Lamb not being there. Like right now, it's not voluntary. The only thing I kind of hate is it's a new defensive scheme that they're putting in. So the more reps you get in the new defensive scheme, it's obviously going to be beneficial.
Yeah.
But it's not voluntary. It isn't. And once it is voluntary, if these guys start missing...
Or it is voluntary, you mean?
Yeah. No, right now, it's not voluntary.
So it's mandatory.
Sorry, am I fucking my words up?
Yeah, voluntary.
Sorry.
Mandatory, you have to be there.
Mandatory, you have to be there.
Voluntary is you can pick.
You can just, you can volunteer or not.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it, but no one's talking about D-Law not being there. It's just undisclosed. Nobody's, and no one's worried about it. Everyone's bitching about Micah not being there. I'm actually more worried about D-Law not being there because you know what? D-Law has shown that he's a leader.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between D-Law not being there and Micah not being there?
Well, D-Law hopefully is something that is nothing major, and he's
undisclosed. Interesting. Maybe he's retiring.
Jeez, I hope not.
Fuck off.
But do you think
undisclosed?
Do you think when Sam Williams and Chauncey Golston showed up, it was that John Travolta meme where he
look around?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, whole starting D-line is not there. Interesting.
Well, let's have a look at what they have to say. Here are the other observations from Thursday's availability. Let's pass it around.
Okay, so Trey Lance continued to take valuable reps on Thursday as the team has installed some packages from the former number 3 overall pick to use his legs and athleticism outside of the pocket more naturally than they would for Dak Prescott or Cooper Rush.
Yeah, run him into the ground.
Yeah, I mean...
break his legs off.
I mean, this is Cooper Rush's team. I mean, sorry, this is Trey Lance's team, so I don't know about running him into the ground.
Run him into the ground.
I don't know about, like, it's great, like, you knock on wood that we wouldn't ever have to bring Trey Lance in, just for the fact that would mean that our that Dak Prescott went down. But
And Cooper Rush.
and Cooper Rush, yeah. But I do like the idea of being prepared for that, and maybe there's a play that comes in that's like a red zone package or something like that, where they bring Trey Lance in. Would you be into seeing that?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be against it. If you get somewhere where you have some plays in where you could throw or pass, sure, why not? Roll the dice with it. I'm actually, with the whole Trey Lance stuff, it's just hyping me up for the preseason. I'm excited to see what he can do in the preseason, because he came to the Cowboys late in the offseason last year, so we didn't get to see him play in any preseason games. It'll actually make preseason games exciting to see what Trey Lance can do, because if you can do it, or if you're good enough to do it as a starting quarterback, you should be able to fucking slang and bang in the preseason with no matter who your players with you, right? So
at least like be making
like, I don't want to see him 4 and 12 for 86 yards, an interception, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see like 180 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, if he destroys in preseason, it's all we're gonna hear is about
you're gonna get the hype
Trey
train.
Lance,
Get the hype train.
But if he does mediocre, it's like, what are people gonna say? What are these Trey Lance apologists gonna say?
Well, he wasn't with the ones.
The other reason that I want to see Trey Lance show off in preseason is if a QB goes down on another team, Trey Lance could be a trade option for some of them.
Excuse me, if a QB goes down on another team.
Ooh, on the whole team, the
whole
squad.
team.
if a QB goes down on his squad, I mean, he's going to need a week off.
He's going to need for that type of prison.
Okay.
Crack him if you got him.
That's prison talk.
That's prison
Kilo.
talk right there.
Kilo,
Crack
get
him
ready.
If you got him.
Get ready, Kilo.
That's longest yard XXX edition.
The rookies continued working with the second team on Thursday as they continue to get acclimated at the Star. The second team unit from left to right saw Tyler Guyton, Nathan Thomas, Cooper Beebe, Awesome Richards, and Matt Waletzko.
My arms are so goddamn long.
Matt Wingspan Waletzko.
Wingspan Waletzko. The first team was Chuma Edoga, Tyler Smith, Brock Hoffman, TJ Bass, and Terrence Steele. Zach Martin on the sidelines, as he did last year during OTAs, just having a smoke.
Yeah, having a break. Doing the occasional
brandy.
Doing the occasional push-up.
Yeah.
Just yelling at everyone.
Yeah, he's constantly got the those ropes that they tie to him that kind of stretch as you run. He's just got that on him as he's walking around.
With his brandy, with his brandy,
so he's not running. And once in a while, he'll just give a little jog. To
a quick 5-yard sprint.
Yeah,
and does that head thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then takes a break. That's the Zach Martin I want to see.
Speaking of the first team offensive line work, Brock Hoffman.
I just got skipped.
Oh, sorry, dog. I thought you already
started.
did.
You started.
Speaking of the first team offensive line work, Brock Hoffman was handling the bulk of communication up front, talking significantly more than Dak Prescott than he did last year. As he looks to stake his claim on the center battle, his communication with QB1 will be huge importance. Other centers that got work were TJ Bass, Cooper Bebe, and Dakota Shepley.
So Brock Hoffman's getting the bulk right now.
Yep.
The bulk of the snaps.
It's going to be Bebe.
So
good. I think Hoffman's hungry. He wants it.
Hungry Hoffman.
And also, sorry, I was just thinking there. I tuned Adam out as I was thinking of.
I hate to say it, but when Ad reads sometimes, because
he trances you.
He trances you.
He'll trance you. But I was just thinking of how I missed out, or maybe we all did, because I was like, "Oh, those shirts will be back next year," and they weren't. The video game shirts.
I know they weren't there.
We can lock them down.
Oh, man, those are so good.
We'll lock those down. We'll lock those down. So, guys, thoughts about this with the center here? So you got Brock Hoffman taking the bulk. You got BB getting some snaps, and you also have TJ Bass, who it's good to see TJ Bass get a little bit because he's slotted in right now as your backup for Zach Martin. So you got a lot of versatility on the offensive line, which is nice.
Ideally, I want to see BB starting center by the end of the season, but having Bass and Hoffman being both or being able to help both in center, and then Bass being able to be a flex guard support there or depth piece. And if they're getting work on that first team, that's going to really show what they can do. Because I don't know if they were on the first team reps last year. I doubt it.
No, they weren't.
Yeah. So this is a nice step up and a chance for them to prove themselves. And they're both like, the thing about them, both Hoffman and Bass, is like there is some expectation, but it's not like, oh, if you're not a all-pro this season, or
You still get a chance.
You still get a chance. So like there's still an opportunity for them to play, and unfortunately for the boys, it's a position of need. So like someone's going to get the job.
Want to hear a crazy take?
No.
By the end of the year, you're gonna see Tyler Guyton as our right tackle. You're gonna see Zach Martin as the right guard. You're gonna see Hoffman as center. You're gonna see BB at left guard, and you're gonna see Tyler Smith at left.
I like that.
Left tackle.
I do like that though.
But everybody on the internet's been saying that BB's going to be starting center.
Including people that have inside information with the Cowboys. But Deuce Vaughn played in a lot of different roles on Thursday as he got a significant amount of work in the slot as a receiving option in addition to his running back reps. In the return game, he continues to be the second option behind Kevontae Turpin, with Jalen Cropper and Wanye Thomas also getting work with returns. So we kind of dove into this a little bit with the Deuce Vaughn getting some slot work. What do we think of this, fellas? Do we like? Do we not like? Are we concerned?
I think the
not
coaches
concerned.
I think the coaches are like, I don't know what the fuck to do with him. you take him. Wide receiver coach. I don't want him.
I don't want him.
Just
give him some slot.
Hey, Mike, he's gonna be taking Deuce today.
But it would start with Schottenheimer, who has no real role on the team, would say, you know what? I think Deuce Vaughn should start taking some reps.
Schottenheimer's always walking around with the free snacks too.
Yeah, with his fucking with his golf visor, free snack.
Always got the golf visor.
You know what? I love what you guys are saying right now. I don't want to step into the middle of it. I'm gonna let you guys just handle it. And then he just walks around doing that all day, getting into conversations, being like, I love the conversation.
I work with some guys like that. I hate that.
It's just
shit.
passing.
Oh man, it's just passing on what they should be doing.
Yeah. You know what? You guys are doing such a good job. I'm gonna step out of this.
And actually, I'm gonna give you this task too because you did so good here. How would you blow me?
He goes around, so as soon as everybody hears him say something about offense, he's like, and he definitely takes the food, and if it's nuts or something, mixed nuts, he'll shake it before he eats it.
Oh yeah, as he's listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, hey, Deuce Vaughn, wide receiver, and then he takes off.
He walks away.
Then he walks away.
And everyone's like, "Fuck, Schottenheimer drives me nuts."
Fucking Schottenheimer.
Shoddy.
I think Schottenheimer ate a bag of peanuts and just left all the shells.
Did he just eat pistachios and leave the pistachio shells all over?
He's AJ at the Seahawks game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was all over me. But thanks to that nice Seahawks fan. As much as you guys might think that we are annoying, and we are annoying at games, but we're having fun. It's infectious. And I think we're like, whatever it is, 5-0 with people around us being more
nice
and like having fun.
I don't think anyone's ever
excitement.
No one's ever really
told us to shut up or sit down or whatever. Because we're watching the game too. So like we're cheering at appropriate time.
Yeah. The only I mean, outside of stepping all over those people's hot dogs at last year's Thanksgiving
and
game,
having to buy them a new one.
And then I bought them.
Yeah, but you redeemed yourself. You bought them chicken tenders.
But like, I mean, anybody, and they weren't even around us. They were
I was
like
probably more
down.
I was probably more mad at you than they were.
Yeah, but what are you doing leaving your fucking hot dogs on
the hot dog on the ground is weird. And it's not like they were right beside us. They seen us walking. Like they did see us. Like,
yeah, I think it's your fault if you leave your shit.
No, like when you guys are walking out, are you looking at what you're stepping on? No, I'm trying not to get my dick in the person that's here,
well, I mean,
trying to put my dick in the person's back of their head, not the front of their face, right?
You're trying to shake and groove, right?
Yeah, shake and groove. And
but
look,
fuck, that was funny though. Listening to the two people screaming as Ad trampled.
What were
over
they
their
saying?
food. Hey man, hey man, and Ad just stomping through
like a hill giant.
It was like that progressive, like, okay, I'm gonna say something and he'll stop, but then when the person doesn't stop, they try to get louder. And Ad didn't even acknowledge him the whole time.
Yeah,
he just 1,000-yard stared right through them.
I was so drunk right there. I needed to eat food.
You were on a mission to go.
Well, I mean, I think at that point.
So Ad was ahead of me when he got down there. I was like, "Do you know what you just did?" He's like, "No, what?" I was like, "You got to buy those people like chicken fingers or something." He's like, "Why?" I was like, "Dude, you just trampled their food."
I probably spent like $30 on food.
And then Ad said what anyone would say. Well, why the fuck are they? Why do they have their hot dogs on the ground?
I would have said, "Hey, lesson learned."
Yeah, it was funny. And then we came
you
back
did-
and
you did
people,
get
and then
her.
we came back up and Ad was already mad that he just dropped $30 on people's food. We came back up and people were sitting in our seats,
Which is even worse.
It was funny. It
By
was,
me and I was sleeping.
well, you
Is that the one?
you and Taylor were gone. You guys were
No,
like,
they were over.
they were
getting-
watching Dolly Parton.
AJ was getting the footage for
right,
Bryson.
Anyways,
Speaking of the grid, we got Patrick Brown in the chat.
Sup, Patrick?
What's up, Patty boy?
What's he have to say?
He said, "This is Cowboys therapy on a Sunday. Love it."
It is. It definitely is.
Okay, what do we got here?
What's he say about the games?
He goes,
fine.
"I will say this: Week 5 to 12 is a huge gauntlet of games that'll tell us about the 2023 Cowboys."
We're gonna be live at week 7. Is that what? Is that the or 8?
Week 8,
San Fran,
and then week
12.
12. So
Week
we'll
eight.
hit 2 of those games.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice. We're in the stretch. That
We're in
Pat
the
was
stretch.
just talking about.
I don't know. Giants really is not definitely a gauntlet.
You can't say that though, man.
Giants.
And-
Oh,
I
hey,
know. I know.
hey,
Okay,
hey.
sorry.
I'll say it again. Giants aren't really.
You guys haven't witnessed us. Well, we have witnessed us losing. But before in the 2022 season, the Cowboys going into the postseason, the loss to the Commanders, who were an inferior team. It's a divisional matchup. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
And I don't want to be like, I don't want to be there in the fourth quarter looking at you, Adam, being like, hey, motherfucker, I was saying this in June that any game, any divisional matchup game, you can lose no matter how shitty the team you think you're playing against.
Hey,
I will say
at home on Thanksgiving ain't gonna happen.
That's the recipe for it happening,
totally.
unfortunately. But I agree. Like, out of all of the teams in the division, I totally agree. Anything can happen within. I'm more scared of Washington.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Than because I know
if Daniel Jones, I'm more worried if Daniel Jones
could have a game.
Well, I'm more worried if Daniel Jones is out of off the team by then, and they have just some random quarterback that
random fucking stud who
DeVito?
can slang and bang it.
I wonder what's happening to old DeVito for this season.
I think Tommy ain't gonna be there. Tommy DeVito ain't gonna happen.
The here we go cadence that Dak Prescott seemed to perfect in
that was pretty good,
2023.
AJ. That was good.
I've been working on. I've been perfecting.
You have
it.
it.
As well.
Play it right there.
Oh yeah, where is it?
Right there, blue. Right, the only blue one on your pink.
There it is. Here we go.
That's pretty good.
It's just get that gruff voice. But it's also working into the backups, as a potential injury would lead to a backup needing as much consistency from cadence standpoint as possible. Trey Lance could be heard verbalizing the "here we go" cadence throughout the Star on Thursday as he gears up for a QB2 battle in training camp.
I do like that they're saying QB2 battle, and I hope he beats out. If he beats out Cooper Rush,
Great.
That's better. Like that's good news for Cowboys fans.
Cooper Rush is one of the better, if not could be arguably the best.
Yeah.
Backup option available. True backup option.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say because there are a couple QB2s right now that are in the backup role that are probably better than
Like
Cooper.
Justin Fields backing up
Well,
Russell Wilson.
or Russell Wilson backing up Justin Fields.
That's gonna be an interesting one to see what happens there.
2 QBs on the field at the same time.
Sam Darnold. Sam
do it.
Darnold's a backup right now. Sam Darnold is better than Cooper Rush.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good call.
So I'm into a lot of good calls. I'm just telling you that.
Whatever team Joe Flacco's playing
Joe
on.
Flacco.
I have 2 QBs, and I just have them keep throwing the ball back and forth until someone's open. Oh, another pass from Russell Wilson to Justin Fields. Oh, and Fields back to Russell Wilson.
The running back by committee approach continues to draw eyeballs, and while it's expected to be a hodgepodge of contributions from various guys in 2024, the team did divide between the first and second team units at a point in practice. That allowed the media to see who could be the front of the room, with Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, and Hunter Lepke residing with the first team, and Deuce Vaughn, Royce Freeman, Snoop Connor, Malik Davis, and yeah, you got Royce to 5'9" and Snoop Dogg in the backfield. Like they're just collecting all the rappers. Malik Davis and Nathaniel Pete working with second team.
Your boy Hunter Lepke doing his damn thing.
Hunter Lepke.
Ad's been a Lepke boy since day one. I'll say that.
There's nothing more that I would like than Lepke getting like a legitimate
like 12
rotation.
touchdown.
Oh gosh,
because you had some big predictions for Lepke last year. It'd be awesome if he hit all those this year.
I like that starting room right there. Elliott, Dowdle, Lepke.
That's some power, but that's some power football. Like
That's a power running back room.
That's power running back right there.
That's not a finesse running back room.
I would like a little bit of speed though, a little.
But do you though? Because like if we look at the way that the running backs are trending, like we're not seeing those explosive running back plays anymore.
Just pound.
Yeah,
pound and ground it with. If you have 3 pound, if you have three running backs who could just pound them to dust.
The pound cakes.
Pound them to dust.
Can we just call them the pound cakes?
You have 3 pound cakes in that
pound into dust.
I can't tackle. They're gonna pound me to dust.
They're gonna pound them to dust.
Okay, here's a question for y'all. You got to trade one of these 3, Elliott, Dowdle, and Lepke, and you got to trade them for one of the second team guys: Vaughn, Freeman, Snoop Doggy Dog, Connor, Malik Davis, and Nathaniel Pete.
People are gonna hate my answer here, but I might say Elliott for Vaughn.
Really,
Zeke Elliott?
Yeah, I want to see what Dowdle and Lepke can do as power backs, and then you sprinkle a little DV in there. Am I gonna? This is just for Alex's.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Exercise that he made us do. I would rather keep Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, and Hunter Lepke. But if I had to pick out of the 3 and then trade for any of those other dudes, I think Deuce just has a different feel of the other guys.
Yeah.
Like I still believe in Deuce, man. I still think he has a shot. I think he has a spot in the NFL. They just didn't have. They didn't really test it out too much last year, and I do believe the offensive line is going to be a better running unit this year.
And I think if Dowdle if Vaughn does play and he ends up with something north of 350, I'd say 400, but let's say 350 yards.
Oh, that's huge.
And 2 touchdowns.
Well, riddle me this.
I think that's a good
along with like
contribution.
20 catches.
That's what I'm saying. 350 total yards rushing and catch.
Okay.
Probably most of it.
Well, hey, listen. If Mix Nuts Schottenheimer has something, maybe he's clairvoyant, and the fact of getting Deuce to show up on the roster sheet as a wide receiver, to take a couple of snaps as wide receiver, they could also circulate him in as running back if he has that spot, because he knows certain running back plays. You could have that finesse, continue to retain that pound them to dust. Running back room,
Pound cakes.
and then you now have someone who could be either taking wide receiver snaps or taking running back snaps.
Yeah, you just got to make sure that it's not like every time Vaughn's on the field, it's like, okay, he's getting the ball.
Yes, that's 100%. And maybe
because that was kind of like with Turpin. Turpin would show up and you're like, okay, they're going to go to Turpin.
Well, and that
here.
might be the best thing with Vaughn getting some slot snaps, right? It's like the more he's out there not getting the ball in plays, the more you have a chance to then zig him or beach him.
And then you want to hit him when
boosh him or beach him.
when they've neglected him just a little
Zig
bit.
him a beach.
All right, well that's all the OTAs. But guys, if you want to go see Kevin Hart live,
June 22nd, must be 18 and older to enter. 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. 2 shows at the WinStar.
why not get both shows back to back and relive right away what you just saw?
I wonder how different the show would be.
I think it's probably
pretty similar.
Pretty similar, but it would be. I've always thought that it would be interesting to go back to back so you could see the
difference.
But that's
if
like
there was a difference.
Like when you go to the
comedy
comedian,
shows.
we go to the comedians, and sometimes you'll see them at like 7, and then they have like a 9 o'clock show. And so if you went to both shows, are they doing the exact same set?
Well, that's what we're asking.
I think.
I thought you meant back to back different nights. Like Kevin Hart's not doing 2.
Yes,
oh,
he
7
is.
and 10.
Yeah, 7 and
fuck
10.
me, my God.
Well, either
Oh my
back to
God.
But imagine this.
But
imagine this. Like
I'm touching my neck, bro.
if you went to the show at 7 and then 10, like would it be the same?
I thought you meant 2 nights in a row.
Well, what if you went 2 nights in a row, 4 shows?
I know.
Seventh.
Oh my God.
Hey, Alex, bring up the wide receivers.
Hey.
Hold on a second. Slow your roll. You need to calm down.
Hey, we're just having fun, guys.
I poke fun. I grew up with brothers. I'm rough.
We got some OTAs talking, second week of OTAs. Football's on the horizon. The first CanFan show of the summer, well, of June. I consider June summer.
It's the start of summer.
Start of summer to us. Bandwagon boys over there doing their damn thing. We will be back.
CanFan summer, baby!
CanFan summer. We will be back Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. But go ahead, and if you know somebody that doesn't like the Dallas Cowboys, you go ahead and tell them to go themselves! In any orifice.
Ladies' choice. Peace!